Good morning, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. Unfortunately, it's over. We're back to the grind. Anyway, what are you going to do? Anyway, hey, we had some great basketball this weekend. Had the CFP semifinals. We'll go over all that. Got some news to get over. Family was supposed to come in this weekend. However, they got sick. They didn't make it. So today is going to be the regular show. They're going to be coming in sometime in the next few weekends somewhere. I don't know which one. It'll be a short show then, probably afterwards, if they even do one. Family here takes up a lot of time. But they didn't make it this weekend, so we got a regular show. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button down there so you don't miss anything. Let's get started. It'll be Miami and Indiana national championship game. I'm pretty looking forward to this one, see how they do. And I have a question. Every time I see a Miami game, home game on TV, it's like nobody's there. Some games have good crowds, some don't. So I'm wondering, have they ever sold out since the Orange Bowl when they used to play in the Orange Bowl? So if they haven't, hey, this is probably gonna be the first sellout for a Miami home game in a long time. Like I said, just the games I've seen, there's like a lot of empty seats, but who knows? Anyway, Miami and Indiana next Monday night should be a pretty damn good game. Transfer stuff, a lot of transfer stuff going on. Michigan running back Justice Haynes enters the transfer portal. Ohio State defensive tackle Caden McDonald, he's heading off to the NFL. Oklahoma State, man, they just continue to clean house in this transfer portal. Illinois wide receiver Justin Bowick, he's going to Oklahoma State. Texas Tech defensive lineman Braylon Rigsby, he's going to Oklahoma State. Former quarterback DJ Lagaway, he's going to Baylor. He's going to try his skills out there. Did you see the Washington story about quarterback Demon Williams, how you say his name? Signs a new deal with Washington, then decides later, you know what? I'm going to leave. I'm going to go transfer portal. Washington said, not so fast. You signed the contract. So he recanted, said, yeah, I'm going to stay here. I think him and his family learned a valuable lesson about some contracts you just don't breach. So he's staying at Washington after all that. A lot of the media, though, are saying he's going to have to earn back the trust of teammates, coaches, donors, other student athletes, fans. He's going to have to earn that trust back because he was going to bail on them. But the technicality kept him there, so we'll see how that's going to work out next season. Who knows? He may not be too happy about it, and I don't know. Anyway, Nebraska quarterback Dylan Raiola, he's going to get Ole Miss. Former Auburn wide receiver Cam Coleman, he transfers to Texas. Former Auburn quarterback Deuce Knight, he's going to Ole Miss. And LSU picked themselves up a pretty good quarterback. He went to Elion. Landon Clark, we'll see how he does in the big boy league. But, man, 2,321 passing yards, 18 touchdowns, threw 8 picks. Buddy rushed for 614 and 11 touchdowns. So we'll see how that works out there for LSU there. Anyway. All right, so Fiesta Bowl. Number 10, Miami beat number 16, Ole Miss, 31-27. Beck, 268 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, interception, ran for a touchdown for Miami. Marion, 114 receiving yards and a touchdown. Their kicker, Davis, had 7 points. Ole Miss side of the ball, Chambliss, 277 passing yards and a touchdown. Lacey, 103 rushing yards and a touchdown. Right TD catch. Kicker Carnelio, I think that's how you say it, 13 points. Not bad. I think he missed a field goal too, did he? So that could have been more points. But anyway. Ole Miss, man, lots of mistakes, lots of missed tackles. Miami, sometimes Miami just ran right through them and they couldn't tackle anybody. Horrible on third down. 2 for 10. Blown opportunities in the red zone. That's probably what really bit them in the ass. That one drive, Miami had 2 15-yard penalties. Put them in the red zone. They could not get in there. Ole Miss, or Miami, I'm sorry, 11 for 19 on third down, 2 for 2 on fourth down. Also didn't help that Lacey, that first run he had was a 73-yard touchdown run. Hurt himself, and he was out for like pretty much the rest of the game. Till the fourth quarter, he came back and ran some plays, but that probably hurt him also. So a lot of factors going against Ole Miss in that game. Anyway, good season for them. They finished 13-2, got to the semifinals. So I'd say a successful season. I know you didn't win the national championship, but hey, Still had a hell of a season. And then the Peach Bowl. My God, first that was like the Rose Bowl 2.0, wasn't it? Number 1 Indiana beat number 5 Oregon 56-22. I did not expect them to. First of all, it's hard to beat a team twice in the same year. And you figure Oregon would have learned some things from that game. Watching Oregon or Indiana throughout the year would say, hey, we can do this here, we can do this here. Nope. Indiana just waxed them. Mendoza, 17 for 20. That's pretty impressive. 177 yards, 5 touchdowns, 2 of them to Sarrett. Black had 2 rushing touchdowns. Oregon's Moore, not a bad day, 205 passing yards, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Harris had a rushing touchdown. Johnson and Silpaga, 2 touchdown catches. Ducks were better in the passing game, but IU, man, they outrushed Oregon. There's a lot of times they just ran right over Oregon and kept going. I was pretty impressed with it. Indiana defense played a hell of a game. Held Oregon to 92 rushing yards. That was it. Also had 3 turnovers, 3 sacks. Pons had a 25-yard pick six. I think that started the game, if I remember right. Just total domination by Indiana. Oregon started waking up in the end, started putting some points on the board, but it was too little, too late. So, anyway, that's it. Miami, Indiana, and the national championship game. That'll be a pretty good one. All right, so going back to basketball, too. Thursday, number 8 Gonzaga beat 13-5 Santa Clara, 89-77. Gonzaga's Ike, 34 points, 11 rebounds, 37-37 at halftime in that one. Ohio State moved 11-4. They beat Oregon by 10. Not a good weekend for Oregon. UC Irvine moved to 12-5. They beat Long Beach State by 10. 99 Oregon State beat 12-6 Seattle, 68-55. Oregon State's Yak, Cy, Diaz, Graham leading scores with 13 points each. Wow. They only shot 34% from the field. They did grab 10 more rebounds. Seattle's Meldondo, he led the way, 13 points. The other 4 starters have less than 9 points. 30% from the field is what Seattle shot. 11 total turnovers. Cal Baptist moved 11-6 to beat Virginia Tech, 84-72. 7-10 Cal State Fullerton beat 12-4 UC San Diego, 88-71. Cal State Fullerton's Williams, 22 points. He hit 6 3-pointers in this game. And then UC San Diego, their leading scorer was Dingett, 15 points. Number 16, Illinois moved to 12-3. They beat Rutgers 81-55. Illinois led 43-16 at halftime. They're just crazy. Tennessee State moved to 10-5. They beat Western Illinois 90-68. North Dakota State moved to 13-5. Beat Missouri Kansas City 97-73. Northern Colorado moved to 11-5. They beat Idaho State 85-72. 10-6 Abilene Christian beat 11-6 Tarleton State by 4. Abilene Christian's Hubbard, 22 points in that game. Utah Valley moved to 13-4, beat Southern Utah 89-72. Tennessee Martin moved to 12-4, beat Morehead State 76-68. Liberty moved to 12-3, beat Louisiana Tech 72-56. Liberty 13 for 16 from the free throw line. They were making them pretty good there. 8-8 Monmouth beat 11-5 William and Mary 81-70. Monmouth had 4 players with double-digit points in that game. North Carolina Wilmington moved to 15-2, beat Northeastern 87-78. NC Wilmington's Wessler, 19 points, 11 rebounds. Number 12 Michigan State moved to 14-2. They beat Northwestern by 10. Northwestern was winning by 7 at halftime. Hofstra moved to 12-4, beat Towson 78-67. Hofstra's Davis, 32 points. Nice game for him. Moving on to Friday, Colorado State moved to 11-5, beat UNLV 70-62. Colorado State was 21 for 30 from the free throw line. USC moved to 13-3. They beat 10-6 Minnesota in overtime by 1. Baker Mazzara for USC, 29 points in that game. Akron moved to 12-4. They beat 11-6 Bowling Green by 10. Akron's Lyles have 18 points, 10 rebounds. Northern Kentucky moved to 13-5. They beat Milwaukee 85-67. Northern Kentucky's Robinson, 29 points. He hit 9 3-pointers in that game. Iona moved to 11-6, beat Niagara 71-53. Miami of Ohio still undefeated as of Friday. at 17-0. They beat Toledo 87-73. Miami of Ohio as a team hit 12 3-pointers. Moving on to Saturday, Eastern Tennessee State 11-5. They beat UNC Greensboro by 26. St. Louis moved to 14-1. They beat LaSalle 84-72. Murray State moved to 14-3. Beat Valparaiso 92-79. Murray State, 4 starters, double-digit points. Those 4 starters, there are 7 3-pointers hit between all 4 of them in that one. Utah Valley moved to 14-4, beat Utah Tech 92-76. 1-point game at halftime. Utah Valley turned it on. Liberty moved to 13-3. They beat Sam Houston 82-74. Liberty's Cleveland 23 points, 7 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 blocks in that game. 13-3, Texas A&M beat 11-5 Oklahoma 83-76. McGee for the Aggies 16 points, 12 rebounds. Griffin and Dominguez 14 points each. Pack for Oklahoma 24 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists. He hit 6 3-pointers. Reed 19 points, 11 rebounds. He hit 4 3-pointers. Both of these teams shot 42% from the field. Oklahoma did get 12 more rebounds than the Aggies, but they also turned the ball over 7 more times. New Mexico moved to 13-3. They beat Air Force 91-49. New Mexico hit 14 3-pointers in that game, grabbed 15 more rebounds, and something that didn't help Air Force any. Air Force turned the ball over 20 times in that game. Arkansas State 12-5. They beat Texas State by 1. 5-12 Central Michigan beat 12-4 Kent State 87-85. George Washington, they moved to 12-5, beat Loyola Chicago 101-66, and they led this game by 21 at halftime. They just kept it going. UT Arlington moved to 11-5. They beat Abilene Christian by 10. UT Arlington's McCreary 20 points, 6 rebounds. 10-6 South Florida beat 13-3 Tulsa 93-78. Enos for South Florida 32 points. They shot 48% from the field, and as a team, they hit 16 3-pointers. Tulsa only shot 42% from the field. Villanova, they moved to 13-3. They beat Marquette by 3. Villanova, 55% from the field. Marquette was 44%. Number 23, Virginia, beat 13-4 Stanford, 70-55. DeRitter for Virginia, 22 points. They shot 44% from the field, hit 6 3-pointers. They were 14 for 17 from the free throw line. Gila led the way for Stanford, 15 points. They only shot 32% from the field. Number 5, Purdue beat Penn State, 93-85. Purdue Smith, 26 points, 14 assists. He hit 4 3-pointers in that game. Clough behind him, 23.7 rebounds. Number 18, Georgia, they moved to 14-2. They beat South Carolina by 5. Catchings for Georgia, 20.7 rebounds. High Point moved to 16-3. They beat Charleston Southern by 2 in overtime. Number 6, Duke beat number 24, SMU, 82-75. Duke's Evans, 21 points, followed by Boozer, who had 18.7 rebounds. They shot 49% from the field, hit 11 3-pointers, and they were 21 for 27 from the free throw line. Toombs for SMU led the way, 23.7 rebounds. Edwards behind him, 20.7 rebounds. They shot 57% from the field, hit 7 3-pointers, but they were only 8 for 9 from free throw line. Didn't get to the free throw line very much, and they turned the ball over 6 more times. 8-8 Harvard beat 12-4 Columbia, 79-54. Harvard's Baddies, 24 points in that game. Leading scorer for Columbia was Nolan, 10 points. Yeah, they ain't going to win you a game. St. John's, they moved 11-5. They beat Creighton 90-73. St. John's, 12 3-pointers in that game. They grabbed 13 more rebounds. 8-10 Drexel beat 11-6 William and Mary, 64-58. Not a good week for William and Mary. They are 3-3 in the last 6 games they played. Furman 12-5 beat VMI 69-48. I didn't know this, but Furman averages 36 rebounds a game. I didn't know that until I saw it on TV. That's crazy. Hofstra 13-4 beat Monmouth by 3 in overtime. Not a good week for Monmouth either. 10-7 Mercer beat 11-6 Wofford, 109-97. Mercer's Okiji, 29 points, 12 assists in that one. But Wofford, man, what's his name? Makowski? He had 33 points in that game, so I'm guessing he's the only one that did anything for Wofford. Navy 12-5 beat Lafayette by 26. 10-7, Ohio beat 13-3 Buffalo, 91-80. Ohio 60% from the field. Buffalo was only 43%. Syracuse moved 11-5. They beat Pitt 83-72. 6-11 Princeton beat 12-3 Yale by 16. Hick for Princeton, 27 points in that game. South Alabama beat Georgia Southern 87-71. Both of them are 12-6 now. North Dakota State moved to 14-5. They beat Nebraska Omaha by 2. Number 11 Wisconsin, or number 5, what? Number 5, 11-5 Wisconsin. What am I saying? 11-5 Wisconsin beats number 2 Michigan, 91-88. I believe that's Michigan's first loss or second loss of the season. Anyway, Wisconsin's Blackwell, 26 points, followed by Boyd, who had 22. They shot 50% from the field. They hit 15 three-pointers. They were actually down at 14 points at one point and came back. Michigan was led by Cadu, 19 points. Johnson Jr. behind him, 18 points. 47% from the field. They hit 8 three-pointers. I'm guessing after today, they probably won't be number 2 anymore. But I wouldn't expect them to fall out of the top 10. Maybe not even the top 5. I mean, who knows? Number 7, Houston beat Baylor, 77-55. U of H, man. 16 straight road wins this season. That's crazy. Let's see. Number 11, Vanderbilt beat LSU, 84-73. LSU, 3 straight losses. They are 12-4 now. All goes back to last weekend against A&M. They've just been losing. Lost to South Carolina. I think it was, last Tuesday or so? I mean, they're kind of falling off the map here. Troy, 11-6 to beat Louisiana by 20. Number 4, UConn beat DePaul, 72-60. Number 10, Nebraska. Man, what a comeback. They beat 12-4 Indiana, 83-77. Nebraska, led by Lawrence, 27 points, 5 rebounds. He hit 5 three-pointers, 48% from the field. They hit 14 three-pointers. They are down by 16 at one point. Indiana, led by Wilkerson. He had a good game, 32 points, hit 5 three-pointers. They shot 46% from the field. As a team, they hit 11 three-pointers. They actually led by 9 at half. Give it to Nebraska, man. They're looking good this year. They came back, they battled back and won that game. Number 20, Louisville beat Boston College 75-62. BC actually led by 4 at halftime. 11-5 Florida. Man, way to bounce back. Beat number 21 Tennessee 91-67. Flan for Florida, 23 points. They shot 48% from the field. They were 20 for 25 from the free throw line. This is their second win this week over a ranked opponent after losing to Missouri last Saturday, a week from Saturday night. Tennessee's Almint, 17 points. He led the way. They shot 43% from the field, 19 for 24 from the free throw line, and they did commit 8 more turnovers. 11-5 West Virginia beats number 22 Kansas, 86-75. Mountaineers Huff, 23 points, 7 rebounds. They shot 48% from the field. Went on a 10-0 run at one point in this game. Now, I didn't know this either. This is their 3rd straight win over Kansas. I figured Kansas, that didn't happen to Kansas, but it did. This 3rd straight win for the Mountaineers over them. So, Kansas, Peterson led the way, 23 points, 6 rebounds, 43% from the field. NC State moved to 12-5. They beat Florida State 113-69. NC State hit 19 three-pointers in that game. George Mason, 16-1, beat 11-6 VCU by 6. George Mason is 11-0 at home this year. Miami's 14-2, beat Georgia Tech by 10. Miami, 9 straight wins after that. 10-7 Fordham beat 11-5 St. Bonaventure, 81-77. Fordham's Reeves had 31 points in that game. 6-10 Illinois Chicago beat 12-4 Illinois State by 4 in overtime. Not a good week for Illinois State either. McNeese, 13-3, beat Southeast Louisiana, 73-61. Archie for McNeese, 25 points, 6 assists. St. Mary's moved to 16-2, beat Washington State by 6. Dent for St. Mary's, 26 points. He hit 6 three-pointers. Tulane's 12-4. They beat UTSA 85-52. Brumbaugh for Tulane, 23 points. He hit 6 three-pointers, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and he stole the ball 4 times. So Brumbaugh had a hell of a game. Number 1 Arizona beat 11-5 TCU 86-73. Wildcats grab 18 more rebounds than the Frogs did. Number 3 Iowa State beat 13-3 Oklahoma State 83-71. Iowa State, all 5 starters, double-digit points. Charleston is 11-6. They beat Hampton 74-70. NC Wilmington wins again, moved to 16-2. They beat Stony Brook 75-71. Stephen F. Austin moved to 13-3. They beat Houston Christian 85-67. Clemson moved to 14-3. They beat Notre Dame 76-61. Porter for Clemson, 26 points, 5 steals. I watched that game and Notre Dame just couldn't get there. They just couldn't turn on anything at all. Clemson just kind of controlled the whole thing. 9-7 Ole Miss beat 12-4 Missouri, 76-69. Missouri, 12 turnovers in that one. Seton Hall moved to 14-2, beat Georgetown 76-67. Game was actually tied at 29 at halftime. Belmont 15-3, beat Drake by 2. 12-6 Bradley beat 12-5 Northern Iowa 75-69. Number 17 North Carolina beat Wake Forest 87-84. Vesser for North Carolina 25 points, 9 rebounds. 10-6 Auburn, man, beat number 15 Arkansas 95-73. Auburn's Hall 30 points, followed by Murphy 16 points, 10 rebounds. They shot 57% from the field. They had 9 more rebounds and 4 more steals in this game than Arkansas. Arkansas is led by Acuff, 19 points. They shot 43% from the field. Pacific moved to 12-7, beat San Diego 77-70. Elion, 11-6, beat Campbell by 1. Number 14, Texas Tech beat Colorado 73-71. Both of them are 12-4 now. UC San Diego's 13-4. They beat UC Riverside by 3. Cal Baptist is 12-6. They beat Southern Utah by 3. UCLA is 11-5. They beat Maryland 67-55. San Francisco, they are 12-7, beat Pepperdine 80-60. San Francisco's Wang, 27 points in that game. He hit 7 3-pointers. St. Thomas, Minnesota is 14-4. They beat Oral Roberts 82-71. 9-8 Weber State beat 11-6 Northern Colorado by 5. Northern Colorado led by 3 at halftime. Grand Canyon, they are 10-5, beat San Jose State 76-58. Remember we were saying a few weeks ago, what the hell's going on with Grand Canyon? They're usually pretty damn good. They're starting to get back up to that level now. They won again, so we'll see what happens with them. I watched this game too. This is a crazy game. 10-6 Texas beat number 13 Alabama 92-88. Pope 28 points. Mark and Swain 18 points each for the Longhorns. 46% from the field. They hit 10 3-pointers. They had 7 more rebounds. But the 3-pointers they hit, it seemed like they hit them exactly at the right time. Alabama would catch up and Texas would hit a 3 and take that score out further. So it seems like they really hit those 3s at the right time in that game. Philliam, 21 points, followed by Holloway, 18 points for Alabama. Alabama, 44% from the field. They did hit 11 3-pointers. They made shots down the stretch when they needed to, but I don't know. Texas just kept them at bay. It was a crazy game. Tennessee Martin, 13-4, beat Southern Indiana 73-56. Utah State, they moved to 14-1, beat Boise State 93-68. Santa Clara moved to 14-5, beat Loyola Marymount 103-72. Santa Clara is how you say his name, Gavalogovov. Anyway, 37 points. Hell of a game for him. Nevada moved to 12-4. They beat 11-5 Wyoming 92-83. Nevada's Camper, 31 points in that game. Number 19 BYU beat Utah 89-84. Saunders for BYU, 24 points, 14 rebounds. San Diego State, 11-4. They beat Fresno 71-52. Hawaii's 12-3. They beat 12-6 UC Irvine by 1. As of yesterday, had some games yesterday. UAB, they're 11-6, beat Eastern Carolina 87-85 in overtime. Mayer for UAB had 29 points. Siena is 11-6, beat Mount St. Mary's 67-50. Marist is 11-5, they beat Rider 71-49. Purdue Fort Wayne, they are 11-8, beat 11-7 Rob Morse 79-74. 10-8 Green Bay beat 13-6 Northern Kentucky 80-78. Allen for Green Bay had 27 points. Quinnipiac, they are 12-5. They beat Sacred Heart by 10. Florida Atlantic is 11-6. They beat Memphis 89-78. Iona, they're 12-6. Beat Canisius 74-48. That was actually a 5-point game at halftime. Number 16 Illinois beat number 19 Iowa 75-69. Illinois' Wagler, 19 points, 5 rebounds. They shot 49% from the field. Iowa, Banks was questionable. They didn't know if he was going to play. he did play well, 16.7 rebounds for him. Sturts followed him, 12 points. They shot 41% from the field. 10-7 St. Joseph's beat 12-5 Richmond by 2. St. Joseph, 42% from the field. Richmond, 34%. Number 25, Central Florida, barely got by 8-8 Cincinnati, 73-72. 1 point game at halftime, and Central Florida did cough the ball up 6 more times. That's probably why they only won by 1. Anyway. And then 10-6 Washington beat 11-5 Ohio State, 81-74. Washington's Diallo, 22 points. Steinbach, 21 points, 9 rebounds. Washington had 12 points off of turnovers. All right, so upcoming. Monday, there's a lot of games today, but nothing today and tonight, nothing really stood out. So if you're at work and you're just bored and want to watch some games, there you go. 'Cause I think there's some on early in the day too. But they always call it Super Tuesday. That's true this week, but it also could be whatever you want to call it, Wednesday, Super Wednesday, Wonderful Wednesday, whatever, because there's some damn good games on Wednesday too. So tomorrow, 5:30 ESPN Plus, 12-4 Kent State versus 13-3 Buffalo. 6 p.m. on Peacock, 12-4 Indiana versus number 12 Michigan State. 6 p.m. on ESPN2, number 3 Virginia versus number 20 Louisville. 6 p.m. on the SEC Network, 13-3 Texas A&M goes to Knoxville to play number 21 Tennessee, which, like I said, after today, they may not be 21 anymore. 6 p.m. on the Big Ten Network, 11-5 Wisconsin, coming off that great win against Michigan, going to play 10-6 Minnesota. 6 p.m. ESPNU, 14-2 Miami versus 10-6 Notre Dame. Notre Dame lost to Clemson. They're going to try their luck with Miami tomorrow night. 7 p.m. on True TV, number 4 UConn versus 14-2 Seton Hall. 7:30 on FS1, 11-5 West Virginia, coming up that big win against Kansas, coming to Houston. Play number 7 Houston. 8 p.m. on ESPN, number 3 Iowa State versus number 22 Kansas. Like I said, it may not be 22 after today. 8 p.m. on Big Ten Network, 8-8 Oregon goes to number 10 Nebraska. Nebraska trying to stay undefeated. 8 p.m. on SEC Network, number 13 Bama, who you know is pissed off. They're going to play 10-6 Mississippi State. 8 p.m. on ESPN2, Florida versus Oklahoma. Both of them are 11-5. 8 p.m. on CBS Sports Network, 10-5 Baylor. They go to 13-3 Oklahoma State. And then late night, 10 p.m. on ESPN2, 16-2 St. Mary's versus 12-7 San Fran. We said Wednesday. It's another super day. 5:30 on Big Ten Network on Wednesday. Number 19 Iowa versus number 5 Purdue. 6 p.m. on ESPNU. 9-7 Ole Miss versus number 18 Georgia. 6 p.m. on ESPN Plus. 10-6 Davidson versus 12-5 George Washington. 6 p.m. SEC Network. 10-6 Kentucky versus 12-4 LSU. But both of them LSU needs to quit the losing streak, and Kentucky, they need to win bad. They really do. So that could be a pretty damn good game. 6 p.m. on ESPN2. 10-6 Auburn, coming off that big win against Arkansas, goes to 12-4 Missouri, who lost. So that's could be interesting. 6 p.m. on ESPN Plus. 11-7 Southern Miss versus 11-6 Troy. 6:30 ESPN Plus. 11-6 UAB versus 12-4 Tulane. 6:30 on ESPN Plus. Missouri State versus Western Kentucky. Both of them are 10-6. 7 p.m. on Peacock. Number 25 Central Florida versus 9-7 Kansas State. 7 p.m. on CBS Sports Network. 11-4 San Diego State versus 11-5 Wyoming. 8 p.m. on the ESPN2. Interesting game here. Number 11 Vanderbilt versus 10-6 Texas. Texas, who's on a high after going to Alabama and beating them. You never know. 8 p.m. SEC Network. 10-6 South Carolina versus number 15 Arkansas. Remember, South Carolina last week beat a good LSU team. 8 p.m. ACC Network. Number 17 North Carolina travels across country, plays 13-4 Stanford. 8 p.m. on the ESPNU. 13-4 Virginia Tech versus number 24 SMU. 9 p.m. ESPN Plus. 12-7 Pacific versus 14-5 Santa Clara. 9 p.m. CBS Sports Network. This might be a pretty good one. 12-4 Nevada versus 14-1 Utah State. Good Mountain West one there. Rivalry game, 9:30 on FS1. 10-6 Arizona State takes on number 1 Arizona. 9:30 on Big Ten Network. Number 2 Michigan versus 9-6 Washington. Washington beat Ohio State last night. Can they take care of Michigan too? 10 p.m. ACC Network. Number 6 Duke flies across country, just like their rival North Carolina does. But this time they play 13-4 Cal. So those two rivals will be playing right across the bay from each other. 10 p.m. ESPN2, 11-5 TCU versus number 9 BYU. Thursday, there's a lot of games, but only a few stuck out. Thursday, 7 p.m. ESPN Plus. Arkansas State versus South Alabama. Both of them are 8-5, or 12-5. I'm sorry. Both of them are 12-5. 8 p.m. on ESPN2, 10-7 Wichita State versus 11-6 Florida Atlantic. And at 9 p.m. on the ESPN Plus, 11-6 Northern Colorado versus 9-5 Portland. That is it. We'll be back Thursday or Friday to go over the things that are going to happen here in basketball the next few days. Like I said, I don't know when the family's planning to come. I don't know if it's going to be this weekend or next weekend, but I'll find out. But anyway, yeah, we'll be back Thursday or Friday to review everything that happens this week. Like I said, it's Monday. It sucks. What are you going to do? Just keep your head down. Stay busy. The weekend will be here again before you know it. Stay safe. We'll see you.